What's going on, guys? Amit here from the channel of Geeked Out, and welcome to my first video. And on this channel, just a brief description, we're going to have PC tech, gaming tech, and PC build, more or less. So today's video is about PC build, and so there is a big misconception out there that you can't build a PC at the price of a console. Yes, you can. A console roughly comes about £330. That includes its online play subscription. This is a next gen console, not a previous gen, so not the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3. This is more or less a Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and even the Wii U, but we're not going to include that here because that's not really the high-end gaming system. So obviously we have got our part list over here, and it's just that PC gaming has a much better fan base. It's just more open source, you got bigger potential, so you can create mods and mod the game itself. People say mods ruin the game. Do they? And it just ask that question to yourself one more time. Do mods ruin the game? And think about it, because to be fair, they don't. They in fact increase game performance, increase game popularity included. So that's pretty cool. So the heart of this build is going to be the AMD A6 6400K. That's the CPU. What's so good about the CPU? It has a 3.9 GHz base clock, which is good enough because we don't really need more than that, I suppose. I mean, that's pretty much quite a lot. That's actually quite a lot for a base clock. That's not even overclocked yet. So, and it also features 2 cores. Now, 2 cores is enough for gaming because games don't utilize more than 1 core. When most games take 1 core because rendering the physics and stuff, but I think you'll be fine with 2 cores. Quad core not needed yet. To cool the CPU, we're going to have the Cooler Master Hyper-T X3 Evo. Great cooler, there's nothing much to say. It's Cooler Master, great brand, great cooler itself. It's just overall just an excellent cooler, and it does great, especially for this build. It's an AMD build, so it features the same bracket to fit the motherboard. Talking about motherboard, we've got the MSI A55M E33 motherboard. What's so good about this board? It's not overkill. Now, boards like the X899 chipset or the Z97 or Z series chipsets are a bit overkill personally. You do not need all those features. If you're going to put a sound card in, go for it. I mean, I think you've got space for it. But you don't really need overkill features like gold or blue lights and stuff. That's cosmetically speaking, that's not, let's say, just features. That's not going to affect your performance. Gold and blue LED lighting in fact going to decrease your performance due to the fact that it uses power. So this board is simple, easy to put in, and it's just a nice board to have. For the memory, we're going to go for 2 crucial 4GB 1600 MHz sticks. Why? Because firstly, we feature dual channel configuration, so we have 2 memory channels, which is just great in performance. And it's 1600 megahertz, which is nice, and that's more or less what we have now. I mean, overkill builds which do editing and stuff, workstation use, they have like 2133 megahertz, but we only need 1600 for gaming. And plus we've got 2 4GB sticks, that's basically 8GB, and 8GB isn't enough. So for the storage, we're going to go for a Seagate Barracuda 1TB drive. Now what's so good about this drive? It features 7200 RPM read and write speed, which is just great. I love Seagate drives, they're so reliable, and it's just overall great drive. So also has 64 MB of cache, which is enough for performance, I would say. For the graphics card, we're going to go for the Zotac GTX 750 Ti. This is a 2GB graphics card, and it features a boost clock of 1111 MHz, which is good enough because why not? I mean, if you're going to overclock a graphics card to get extra performance, I would. I mean, just get that extra potential out of your PC. You can't do that on a console, which obviously would make a console much better, but you can't. The PC is much more open source. There's a bigger potential for you guys to have there. Now, I'm not trying to ruin console gamers here. Consoles are better in their own places because, let's just face it, consoles are much safer for kids. They have great privacy and settings, and they're easy to use for children as well. But the OS we're going to put in the system also, you know, makes it easy for a child to use as well. So that's the graphics card, amazing graphics card. Also features Game Stream, so if you have an Nvidia Shield lying around, you want to put Game Stream on, and you were thinking like, what's the cheapest Game Stream graphics card I can get now? 750 Ti is just an amazing card. So for the case, we're going to go for the Fractal Design Core 1000. This is an amazing case. This does not include USB 3. There is a USB 3 model, but we're not going to go for that because there's no point, since USB 3 will kick the price up on this build. So it's a great case. It's quite simple, easy to use case. Just power, reset, few audio jacks. You'll be fine to run this case. To power the system, you're having a EVGA 430 watt power supply. What's so good about this power supply? It's an EVGA power supply. It's 80 plus bronze rated, so it's just a nice power supply to have, and it's enough. It's more than enough to power this PC. For the operating system, we're going to go for the free Linux distribution, which is SteamOS. SteamOS is an easy to use operating system, which if you don't know how SteamOS looks like and you want to try it out quickly, go on Steam and click the big picture mode. You probably know what the big picture mode is. Basically big picture mode in an operating system. It features a web browser, a full-featured web browser, running on a Linux distribution, which is nice, and it's just a great browser to have, great OS, to have, because it's child-friendly, and it's just friendly overall. The UI is great on the system. It's just overall perfect. So that's pretty much the build. This build costs £330 and $500 if you're in the US or Canada. And it's an amazing build. If you want to get into PC gaming, just definitely try this build out. It runs games fine, ultra even, medium to high settings. So, definitely try out this build. If you're going to get into PC gaming, as I said, PC gaming is a big potential for open source gamers. You want to experiment with gaming, definitely go for PC gaming. Console gaming does restrict you from that, but I do not blame them, since they're a company, they want to restrict people from that. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like this video, remember to leave it a thumbs up, rating, subscribe, you know the drill, and I'll see you guys next time.